And we are live. Just going to post this on Instagram real quick to let people know that we are live. I've never done one of these things before. It's my first ever YouTube live stream. So join me if you dare. All right, cool. Cool. I'm going to move that down. I have no idea if anybody's going to come in here today. I don't have a great webcam or anything, but we're building the Venator. I am on bag 10 and 11. Looks like we're building these at the same time. So this is how much I've built so far. This is so large. It literally feels like a sword. Like it is gigantic. So let's open this up. Maybe I should. There we go. I don't want to cut off my face entirely. Is that all right? I'm just going to throw my trash on the ground. We got one person in here. Hello, person. You're the first ever viewer of Brickology Productions live build. I've never done this before. I've been wanting to expand into live builds for a while. This is my first foray. So let's see if it is worth it. Right out the gate, I don't even see the piece that I need. Oh wait, I'm an idiot. There it is. I opened the wrong bag. Good start. I was too distracted. It's 9 and 10, not 10 and 11. All right, well, I have an extra bag open, not a huge deal. I'll just use that for the next steps. Put those like right here. All righty. Gotta stay hydrated. All right. So we're building bags 9 and 10. Let's just get into it. If you're joining me, feel free. Oh, this is a 2-timer. Just drop any questions in the comments below. I will try and answer and engage with as many as I see. No. Ooh, some snot techniques here. Looks like where. Oh my goodness, it broke. We're doing it live, right? So there we go. Is this the? It looks like I'm already building one of the stands. It's a little early in the bag 9 to start building the stands. Really, usually kind of save this for last, but it might be. This might be like structurally integral to the build, which would make sense as this thing is so large. It wouldn't shock me if we kind of need to build the stand super early. Nobody seems to be in here yet. I don't really know what to expect from this. We're just experimenting, seeing how it goes. I would love to build kind of like a live stream community over here, but you never know when people will show up or not. I'm going to give it probably a couple hours today. I would like to build at least the first of the 2 big boxes on the inside. We got 2 people in here now. If you're watching leave a comment. I would love to hear something. I don't see anybody commenting in the chat yet, so drop a comment. Let me know what's up. Ask me a question. If it's appropriate, I will answer. And let's get a conversation going. I want this to be an interactive live stream whilst I build this big old Lego set. Oh, dropped a piece. I'm really good at dropping pieces while I build. I feel like I do that quite often. I am building in my Lego room, if you couldn't tell. And I don't let my pets in here because they would eat my Lego. And their hair would get everywhere. I do not need that. But every time I come in here, my dog, she starts acting crazy. It's really weird. I don't know how to explain it. It's just she's like freaked out by me being in this room. I think maybe because there's a lot of big furniture in here. A lot of times when I'm in here, I am like moving things around, makes a lot of noise. And I think she thinks I'm like, up to no good or something while I am in here. But I'm just building Lego, doing the Lego thing. Hold on, I'm gonna make sure I get all these right. Okay. One goes there. Still no chats. Gotta put that on there, and then this will go there. And then that one will go there. Not too shabby. Doom. Yeah, this is the stand. I didn't realize the stand is it's like built into the structure of the Venator. That's very interesting. That is very, very interesting. There we go. Dancing reply. Take a drink. All right, well, that's one. This side is smaller. Still just the one person. They have not said a single thing. Interesting. Mysterious person, reveal yourself. Who are you? Alrighty. I feel like I missed those pieces. How could I have missed those? Where would those have even gone? We got 3 people in here. I feel like I should not have an extra 1x2, but it might be extra because I mean, just looking at it, I think yeah, okay, whatever. That's extra. That's weird. It's very weird. Normally, that is not a piece. Wait, where does this piece go? Crap. Oh, that's where it goes. That's why. It's not extra. There we go. I knew I was doing something wrong. There we go. I was just off by a peg. Not a big deal, though. Okay. Now, so far, not very many extra pieces in this set. It's a big set, but there's just not too much. Will someone ever mention anything in the chat? We shall see. I would love to answer some questions. Get this live stream going. Alrighty. Where does this go? I think that's right. Well, here we go. Got the stand built for this bad boy, so I now have kind of a reference of something of the size. All right. I get back 12 open as well. I don't really understand the point of Lego doing the like combining bags. Like, why not just put everything into one bag? I don't know. It just seems really random. Or like calling the bags the same number. I don't know. Very random, but who cares? Not really important. It's just kind of a funny thing that they do with these bigger sets. It's like, oh, you're gonna build, bags 4, 5, and 6 all at the same time. I'm like, why not just make all of them bag 4? You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Whatever. I got 3 people. That's the most I've seen in here today. If people don't come in, I'm just gonna start spewing nonsense about Lego Star Wars. But I really would love to engage with the chat, but nobody's saying anything. But it's my first time doing a live stream. I don't know why I would even have expectations for this. My last video got like 7 views, so who knows if anybody will actually come today, but I would love to. There we go. Ryan. Screw you, Ryan. I don't care about you. How many bags is it? I don't know because it's divided into 2 boxes. This box had 23 bags, but there's another box that is currently unopened. Where am I? There we go. So put this part on back there. It's kind of hard to like finagle this gigantic thing around. It's very difficult too. All right. It's just a big, chunky piece of plastic. And this piece slides in there. All right. Not too bad. And it kind of looks like we're just like, it's all snotty right now. You can kind of see you're like building these little sub-assemblies and then sliding them in. So this one here, we're putting eight grate pieces times onto a 2x8 plate. And then that will be slid. 9 grate pieces. One is going on to one of the snot bricks. And then the others go on the plate. Yeah, it's kind of cool. I mean, it's pretty smooth so far. Just nothing crazy. And then this piece will kind of, okay, that's gonna give me a little bit of depth right there. That's pretty slick. All right, next subassembly. Got that. And we do this. And then we need, there we go, 2x2. Lots of tiles so far. I love tiles, give it kind of that smooth aesthetic. That's always a good thing. And a lot of these pieces too. That Lego piece has been around for ages, pretty much ever. I mean, I think they've existed before I even got into Lego. But yeah, that's a good part as well. It really helps to kind of bring some good angles to this set, and it's working out pretty nicely. And then we've got those, we've got some of these, put a couple of these on there and attach, no, that way. So there we go. This was kind of the assembly, and if you can't really see, we are putting together this side. So I think it's going to be hard for me to apply this while holding it like that. It's hard to, this is such a large build. I have what I call my crafting table in my Lego room. I recently set up. It's basically 2 dinner tables from IKEA that I pushed together. It's big, it's white, so it's very easy to see pieces. But even this table, I mean, the other half of the table right now has a bunch of my loose minifigures because I've been sorting through my minifigures to put them on, like, in these, like, glass or plastic, not glass. They're display cases to display in my Lego room. But yeah, this is going pretty fun so far. Honestly, this build, I was kind of expecting to hate this build because It's big and it's technicky, but it's not the kind of technic that I don't like. When something is just pure, unadulterated technic, it's only technic pieces, it hurts my hands. But this set so far has been a good mix of some Technic, some of like the midway, like the bricks that have Technic connectors, and then it also has a lot of just normal Lego assemblies. So I would say thus far, it's actually been a very enjoyable build. I'm sure it's going to get repetitive because you have to build the same gigantic assembly. Like I'm already starting to see that right now. Like I built the mirror of this build that I did just a few minutes ago on the other side. I'm sure that's not going to be great because it is so large. Building the same thing mirrored is not, super interesting, but also like kind of refreshing. I wasn't expecting to see like a classic 2x4, and there's two of them. It's like that's the technique right there. It's like we're just stacking a 2x4 on top of each other, and that's just being slid into place to kind of give it a little bit of depth on this side. Like I'm pretty impressed so far with some of the techniques. I'm pretty impressed with the entertainment value I'm getting from this build. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it thus far, and I'm hoping that it keeps up. This kind of back section is starting to look a little more smooth, which is nice. I like this assembly here a lot. You put the eight great pieces, not great with a great as in GRATE, putting 8 of those parts, the great tiles, onto a 2x8 plate. There you go. And then you also have this, and then you put one of these pieces layered over it, which it's subtle. It's very subtle. Like you're hardly, no one's really even going to notice that. But I appreciate little attempts from Lego to be like, hey, right here in this corner of the set, it indents ever so slightly, and it gives it a little bit more depth. I think that's something that's going to go underappreciated in a design like this, something so big in scale. People aren't really going to notice that. But I think in this instance, it's pretty cool. And there we go. Put these on. But yeah, I mean, it's been like fairly simple in a lot of ways so far. But it's also, the whole thing is not, at least at this point, it's not an even number of studs. The middle fuselage is 5 studs wide, which, that might have been necessary for them to accomplish the shape of the Venator. But I do not, envy the designer making that decision, because as soon as you make something an odd number of studs wide, you have to really account for every little tiny thing being a different scale. You have to really just kind of commit and go full steam ahead, being like, all right, like this whole build is going to be an odd number of studs wide. We're going to make this more difficult on ourselves. It's adding a level of difficulty to something where you don't have to do it. Which, look, that is what I want from a UCS Lego set. Is, it's a policy that I have when I make my videos, is I could make my videos more simple. Like, for example, the Wizard of Oz video that I did a few weeks ago, where I talked about every Lego Wizard of Oz and Wicked figure ever made. I could have very easily just made that video very literal, written the script super normally, and just, read it and been like, there you go, that's it. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this. Oh gosh, I have to like flip the build now. But instead, I was like, I'm going to do this ongoing bit in this video where I purposely said the word popular, like, I think it was 11 times. And I did kind of what I popular counter, because, that word, if you've seen the Wicked show, is very important for one of the most iconic songs in the whole thing. So doing that was not necessary at all, but I think it added a certain level of creativity a certain level of ingenuity, and it really, helps to separate the video from the rest, where it's like, all right, like I gave myself more work because I had to purposefully, include the word popular. I had to purposely like make timestamps where I said popular and add in the animation and the sound effect and all that jazz for when I said popular. But I think that that kind of thing is what can help set a video apart. I know I sound like I'm really hyping up myself here, but that's, what I want to see from Lego is don't do the bare minimum with a design. Give us something where it feels like you guys went crazy with it. And like you can kind of see right here, this shaping is not normal. It would have been much easier to make this 6 studs wide, probably, and it probably would have looked a little bit worse. But instead, the Lego designers were like, hey, we're going to make it 5 studs wide, 3 studs wide. It's going to be an odd number. We're going to have to work around that a lot. And so far, it's really been more impressive than I thought. I'm just flipping the whole thing upside down right now. That's kind of what's going on. I wasn't expecting that. And look, also like this, building something upside down also is, more difficult. And the way that they're doing all of these plates on the other sides is interesting as well. It's just, so far, I've been very, very impressed with kind of the commitment to this set and how they have really tried their hardest to make this a unique experience. That's a pretty simple little build right there, but good shaping. There's kind of that sub-assembly. We are putting that snotted in there. That works out nicely. And then let's see, we got these long plates, kind of start connecting the dots back here. This whole thing, like I said, has been built upside down, which is fun. I'm curious to see the detail this can accomplish. And then, I'm mirroring it on one side. Do you guys do this? If anybody's in the chat, every time I build a Lego set like this, I always end up doing the assembly on the other side at the same time, just kind of mirroring it in my head because I know it's going to be mirrored. But in the instruction manuals, they tell you to do it twice. I've always found that very, very odd, where it's like, hey, do this, and then when you flip it around, I'm like, I can figure it out by myself. This is an 18 plus set. Like, I feel like Lego fans are probably smart enough to know to put the tile on one side and the other at the same time. And then it always results in me having to go through the instruction manual and like being like, all right, like this is the part where I've actually already built this. I kind of like skipped ahead on per Lego's instructions. Did I do that right? Oh, well, that's probably why. I have to kind of move these tiles off. Now, I'm saying all this, and then I get to a point where it actually makes sense why it wasn't asked to do it. But it's not going to be hard to fix that. There we go. Slide those into place, looking pretty smooth right there, if I do say so myself. And then we got that big piece go on top there. Love these Nexonite shields. They have really gotten creative with that part. I feel like when that piece first came out, I had low expectations that it was going to be, a useful Lego part at all. And it has since become one of the best greebling pieces I think Lego has in their arsenal at this point. It's very, very nice. So that's fun. And then let's see. Try to make sure I count the studs right so I don't mess up the location of all this. Okay, and then now we're doing the other side. So we are mirroring it, even though I've already done like half the work to mirror this already. Already put those on. Already put those on. I can add the bigger plate there. And then we can add the Nexonite's shield assembly. slide that in. We've got tile here. Goes over 2, make sure that's the right spot. Yep, we're good. And then we are building. Let's see, is this 2 separate builds? Yeah, it is. That's a little confusingly laid out. And then we got these. All right, now we are flipping the beast back over. There we go. Okay, and we see those go on like that. Not bad at all. And then we've got kind of this top assembly here. Looks like put that there. Some tiles off. Yo, what is up? We've got a hello in the chat. Welcome. I am so happy you're joining us today. Welcome to my channel. Did I do this correctly? Hold on. What? Oh no. I didn't put these tiles back far enough. I believe, yeah, okay. There we go. Put the tiles back one peg too far. All right, and then we're going to slide in these triangle tiles. There we go. That is the bags. And that's it for instruction manual number 1. We are done with the first instruction booklet. I'm just going to quietly throw that to the side. I have manual number 2 already out. There we go. Do you have a favorite minifigure series or license? Do you mean like collectible minifigure series? My favorite license for Star Wars or for Lego is Star Wars. I feel like that's fairly obvious if you cannot tell. I also love Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings might be my favorite. If they made more of it, they just haven't. But Star Wars is my bread and butter. As for collectible minifigures, that's tough. It's a tough one. I mean, I'm inclined to like the Marvel stuff just because, like, I'm a big Marvel guy, and I think those figures are really cool. Also, Harry Potter, but I didn't even complete Harry Potter series 2. I did love the space one from this past year. That might be recency bias talking. I don't know, but the space CMF they did this year was right up my alley. Those figures were awesome. So yeah, I don't know if I have one I love. I would have to go through the complete history of Lego collectible minifigures for me to like give you a definitive answer on which one is my all-time like favorite. But those are a few that come to mind. I like the D&D one, even though I play it. Yeah, I actually don't even have all the D&D figures yet. I got one of those like boxes, and that's it. That's all I've purchased for Lego D&D. I also have never played Dungeons and Dragons. I loved the movie that came out last year. That movie I've watched, I think, like 3 or 4 times. It's super entertaining. It was one of my top 10 movies of 2023. Really fun movie. And I've always kind of been like somewhat interested in playing Dungeons and Dragons. I just don't know other people who do it. But like if I did meet people who were like, let's do a D&D campaign, I would definitely jump on that opportunity. Because it's just nerdy fantasy stuff is right up my alley. So yeah. I also love Lego, but I collect more vinyl figures like Funko. Yeah. I don't even know what U2's is. I used to be super into Funko Pops. I still have probably 300 some odd Funko Pops. They're all in like boxes at this point. There was at one point in time I had like a gigantic Funko Pop shelf. I would go on like crazy Funko Pop hunts and everything. I love Funko Pops for a while there, and I have some great memories going on big Funko Pop hunts with a buddy of mine back home. Like we would really like go try and find all the exclusive Funko Pops when they drop for like Comic Con, especially San Diego Comic Con. Go to like 5 stores one morning. Man, those were great days. However, the pandemic is kind of what killed it for me because during the pandemic I was so bored for a lot of the time, and when you buy a Funko Pop, you just take it out of the packaging, or don't take it out of the packaging, you just display it, and it's all right. And I still have some on display for sure, but it doesn't do anything, and it's just kind of whatever. I don't know. I just kind of lost my Funko Pop thing once I stopped going on hunts. Once I no longer live within close proximity of that friend, so like we don't go on hunts together anymore. And I just fell off the hobby. I still probably buy like 5 Funko Pops a year, but I sold a bunch of my rare Star Wars ones to buy more Lego, and I've kind of just fully committed to Lego solely. But I did love Funko Pops. And then you said you Tuesday is like Funko bootleg, but if they had more licenses for YouTubers, FNF, and have as a big budget. That's cool. I mean, I do love a good, you know, giving people like weird specific characters and stuff that the brands will never make. I feel like, there's obviously a lot of people in the Lego community that do that where it's like they're going to make, I think military stuff is very common for, custom Lego sets because Lego isn't going to make them. So, yeah, I do think that getting that kind of thing is important to, kind of give people an option. Usually it's expensive, but yeah, what we got? Is it worth time to make? Is what worth time to make? Preston Jackson. Please let me know what you are talking about. Are you talking about the Venator? Or are you talking about the Funko Pops? Because I'm not really sure. But yeah, we got the chat going a little bit more chatter. The Lego. I mean, so far, Preston Jackson, I am really enjoying this Venator build. Also, Preston Jackson, my brothers are named Preston and Jackson, so that's kind of funny that is your name. But besides that, I am really enjoying this build. It's been, a good level of difficulty, a good mix of Technic and normal Lego bricks, a lot of good techniques, and this thing is big. You can't really see it here, but like this thing is already 4 feet long, and I'm like 12 bags in. So I'm pretty impressed so far with it. I am really, really enjoying this build. They have figures for YouTubers like Top Pops, Ed's World, Preston Plays, more little channels. That's pretty hype. I would love to see like a Lego version of that. I know I relate everything back to Lego. That's because I'm just a big Lego guy. But that's cool. Is Top Pops the Canadian guy who I feel like I've seen him before? He like has every pop in existence. Yeah, but that's cool. That's pretty sweet. Are there any major flaws you don't like? So far, Preston, I feel like this is the only thing that I'm like kind of iffy on is that there's 6 total stickers in this set. I don't know. They don't look bad, and they're big stickers, so they weren't like difficult to put on or anything. I just feel like at this point, when you have a set like this and there is a big printed tile for the UCS plaque, why are we still getting stickers for this? I feel like the prints would be good. It just seems like I understand that Lego is not going to print everything, and I don't expect them to, but I do think that they should print some stuff. In this case, they should be. Would you rather like the print on the bricks? I mean, look, I would always rather have a print on a brick. I think that just makes the building experience more fun because stickers slow down a build, and a print is just nicer. It usually looks a little bit cleaner because sometimes stickers don't quite match. Although sometimes Lego's printing doesn't match either. It's a little inconsistent depending on the color of the plastic underneath. But yeah, all right, what we got? What is your oldest Lego? That's a great question. What is my oldest Lego? I feel like I do own some random like 1990s Lego sets. I have quite a few of the original Star Wars sets from 1999. I really, look, I'm a 2000s kid. I was born in the late 90s, and I am through and through a 2000s kid. So, like, I'm not as nostalgic about stuff that came out before I was born. But I do own some of that random 90s stuff, especially like 90s Space and Castle. I have some of those sets. I don't know specifically off the top of my head. I would have to check my Brick Set account to find out exactly like the date of my oldest Lego set ever. So I can't entirely answer your question off the top of my head, but I definitely own some stuff from probably like 30 years ago. Every Lego fan's nightmare, the stickers. Okay, I don't hate stickers. I did just rant about them. Here's my thing. I understand stickers. I get why Lego does them. I think they are fine in certain instances, especially in like smaller sets. I don't expect cheap sets that are made for kids to like have all the most like premium, prints ever. Like, that is a big hefty expectation to put on Lego, and I don't think they can always live up to that. It's just this set is $650. This set already has, I haven't opened this bag yet. This is a 16 by 8 tile. That is a print. So they're obviously capable of printing these parts. It just seems like instead of 6 stickers, like there's only 6 in this entire set, we could have printed them because the stickers coloration doesn't quite match. So yeah, not the best. Do you think Lego should put more figures in their sets? That really depends just on the set. Like, there was obviously a lot of controversy when this set came out about the figures included. I don't personally think that this set even needs to have minifigures because it is not remotely minifigure scale. Like, if this set had 0 figs, I wouldn't care because it is a set that you buy purely for the build. I do think that the more expensive some of these Lego sets get, the more ridiculous it is to only include a handful of figures. So I think a great example, can you see it? It's over here somewhere. There it is. Yeah. So that set, that is the new 2024 Star Destroyer set. Really good build. And it comes with, I think, I guess it comes with 7 minifigures because of the anniversary, but not counting the anniversary figure, which doesn't, go with the scene. It includes 6 minifigs for $160. Like, what are we doing? Only 1 Stormtrooper is included in that set. And to me, that is a travesty. Like, we should get more figures in sets. So yeah, I would probably say in general, yes, sets probably should include more minifigures. Like Jabba's Sail Barge has 11 figures. It's a decent amount, but for $500, we should probably get like 15 figs. The Sail Barge or the Desert Skiff set is missing some characters. Like there's no pirate on that. And because it's so expensive, we should get more figures. So yeah. How many battle packs are too much? That's a great question. I am somewhat into army building. I have probably 200 some odd clone troopers in my Lego collection. I'm not, a stranger to the army building. That being said, I do think people who have those people you always see those hauls, they have like stacks and stacks of the newest battle pack. That to me can get a little bit ridiculous. I don't think that we need to have people buying like 500 battle packs at once. And at some point, you should just step back and be like, what am I doing? But you know what? If it's your money, you ain't hurting anybody. Do what you want with it. What's it? Sunflower GT. Welcome to the chat. How you doing today? We are now on bag 14 of the Venator. I think the new monolurg. I don't know what you're saying. Building like modular. You misspelled modular. Modular building like the Avengers Tower. We should get the Disney Castle so we can get Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, blah, 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 blah. Lots of figures. I would be inclined to agree. Definitely give us all the figures. We ever stop getting remade Lego sets simply because you already have them and don't want more? Preston Jackson, that is a great question, and sometimes I do that. I think it depends on how new the remake is and if it's better or worse than the old version. So, for example, you can see right there, there we go, on the shelf. I actually have two. I have one that I modified to be the Rogue One version, but that one is the 2018 X-Wing, which I think is the best X-Wing non-UCS that LEGO has ever made. I did buy the 2021 version, which is smaller and much worse. It is not on display, and I did not buy the one that came up this summer. It's the only summer set that I currently do not own, or at least a play scale set I don't own, because I just don't need another X-Wing. I don't need another TIE fighter that are worse than other versions. So I do think that when they make a version that looks worse and there's nothing super desirable figure-wise and it's expensive, I skip them. But if it has been a while since the last version of the build, and it does seem like a noticeable improvement, like the Arc 170 Starfighter coming out, I do usually end up purchasing it. So yeah, I'm kind of in between on the whole remake thing. All right, you should build the Death Star. I actually don't even own the Death Star. I have, you can see that right there is what I call my Death Star shelf. It's kind of blocked off by the Venator here. But that's one of the few like big UCS sets I never got. I was never a huge fan of that big play scale Death Star looking one. It was weird. It's kind of a weird UCS set. Do you think about the $45 Togo ship coming out? I made a full video on that if you want to watch it. But to give you my quick thoughts, I think the build looks really good. The new cockpit piece is a little bizarre. I don't think that was necessary. I think they, probably could have, just stuck with the old one. The old one looked great to me. But I think the techniques on the new version look fantastic. I think the new minifigures are awesome. I am going to buy that set day one because I think it's a really genuinely good LEGO set. The price is abhorrent. I mean, literally 2 years ago, not even 2 years ago, in August 2023, so 18 months ago, once that set comes out, we got Yoda's version for $10 less. I don't understand how they raise the price like $5 every year for these kinds of vehicles. And does that mean in 2026 we're going to get a $50 Jedi Starfighter? Because if so, I'm gonna have a hard time spending $50. Look, I'm probably gonna use some VIP points when I buy these sets to get discounts and stuff, but definitely wait for a sale if you are more patient than I am. All right, what we got? Lego fans, give us Pokemon. I would love Lego Pokemon. Company, no. Besides the show, everything it came with Lego Pokemon Snap and Switch Company. Yes. I think Lego Pokemon would be an absolute match made in heaven. I don't really understand why they don't do that, but whatever. Have you ever thought about stop motion animation with the Lego you have? Yes, I have done stop motion in the past. I was not particularly good at it, if I'm just being honest with you. It is so tedious to make. I respect the crap out of people who do stop motion because it takes so long, requires so much commitment. I think it is kind of wild that people are able to accomplish that. And I just don't think I have the patience for it. So I probably won't be doing any more stop motion unless I had some serious help. But I have done it in the past, and I do think stop motion is dope. I just, it's not really something I think I have too much time for. Let's see. All right, never too old for Lego. Great username. What's up, everyone? Can I ask what you're wearing shirt? Wearing your shirt? This is just a Duke hoodie. There you go. I'm a big Duke basketball fan, and they play later today at 6 p.m. What's my favorite type of clone trooper? I kind of just love the basic Phase 1. That's a really lame answer, but just the original Phase 1 clone trooper from Attack of the Clones, the first clones we ever see. I kind of love those guys, and I have a lot of them in Lego, probably more than your average person. That's kind of the one I went for. Your last name is Duke. Well, do you know anything about Duke University? If not, you should go there because that'd be hype if you are named Duke and went to Duke. But I'm sure there is no association between the two. But yeah, I'm just a big fan of the Duke basketball team. That is why I'm wearing a shirt that says Duke on it, or a hoodie because it's like 20 degrees outside here in North Carolina. So yeah, a little update on the build. This is going to be like the bridge section, so that's kind of coming together. How many named clone troopers do I have? I mean, we have the Bad Batch. That's what, 5? And then looking at, I mean, there's multiple versions of both Cody and Rex. That's 4 more. And then I have Wolf. I have 2 different Grees. I have Fox. It looks like maybe like 12-ish. I might be wrong on that. That's just kind of an estimation. But yeah, there are not too many named clone troopers that Lego has made into actual figures, but yeah, I think I have about 12. Just kind of, that's a number off the top of my head. I could be completely wrong on that. LOL, I've been not school, we're traveling. Yeah. I mean, if you're not close to Duke, I wouldn't recommend, going out of your way to travel there. But I am partial to Duke. It's from my hometown. I don't live there anymore, but it is my old hometown is Duke University. Last Christmas, my grandpa gave me a Lightyear set. It was a spaceship, but I didn't finish it. Honestly, that Lightyear set is really good. It's a very good ship build. The movie was such a letdown. I did not really care for the Lightyear film, but the Lego sets were all pretty solid, especially that spaceship. I don't think I have it on display anymore, but I did get it. Do I have 5s? I do have 5s. I have the Anniversary 5 figures. I'm actually looking at him right now. He's in a display case with the rest of the Anniversary figures, and I'm probably going to buy a second of the Tangent Hallway set so I can display a 5s with my clone army in addition to the one I have on display in the minifigure display case. So yes, I do have 5s. I love me some 5s. Wow, we've been going for 52 minutes. You guys have made this chat pretty electric the past half hour or so. Thank you all so much. Is the sequel trilogy better, trillions better than the prequel trilogy? No, I would not agree with that. I don't particularly like the sequels. I think The Force Awakens is a good movie. It is a fairly basic movie. They didn't try too hard. They retreaded a lot of ideas. But it was kind of like a soft reboot of Star Wars. They got back to basics for the franchise, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. I think The Last Jedi is terrible. I know some people love that movie. I hate it so much. I think that movie is awful. And then I think the Rise of Skywalker is not really better. It doesn't make me as angry as The Last Jedi, simply because I feel like The Last Jedi just felt like the point that Star Wars got ruined, and I went into The Rise of Skywalker with low expectations, but it's still very, very poorly done. So, no, I think the prequel trilogy is better than the sequel trilogy. There are some things with the sequels that are better than the prequels. The acting, the dialogue is better. But I think the story and the worlds are more creative and fun in the prequels. So, there you go. I can't wait to see if Lego Sonic sets for coming out for Sonic 3. No, that's not going to happen. I hate to break it to you, but if that were going to happen, we would already know about them. Lego is making Sonic sets based on the video games, and there's going to be some, crossover between the two. So it's not hard to get all those characters, but they're not going to make sets based on the movie because they haven't made any sets based on the other movies. And that movie comes out in what, like 2 weeks? Yeah, I do not think that we're going to see any more of them. Do I have all the Knights of Ren? I do have all the Knights of Ren. I have every single sequel trilogy minifigure because I am a crazy person. Actually, no, that's not true. I don't have Finch Dallow. That is the one sequel figure, the one that came with like the reissued version of the Republic frigate set. That's the only sequel figure I don't own. Everything else, though, your boy has it, which is kind of concerning to have so many figures from movies you don't really love. Lego needs to do Power Rangers. Dude, I am with you there 100%. I made a video about a year ago titled themes Lego needs to make. And that was one of the ones I mentioned was Power Rangers. I think that would be a match made in heaven for the Lego group. Gosh, well, at least we have Shadow. We can get set mocks in the movie. Yes, the Shadow figure is also very easy to acquire because he comes in a $20 set with the bike, which is also going to be in the movie. So I don't think it's going to be too hard to get everything. So yeah, that's a silver lining at least. But unfortunately, I would love to see Sonic movie sets. It'd be great to get like a Jim Carrey version of Dr. Eggman, but it is not going to happen. And then you said, do you think Lego will make a UTAT? I don't know. I just don't. I don't really have faith that they're going to do it. It would be cool. I think prequel fans would eat it up. You know, I would say the Starship Collection, but the Starship Collection is starships. The UTAT is obviously not a starship. So I don't think that it's going to happen. I don't know. Maybe it could. I would love to see it, but I don't think it's going to happen. There's kind of nice little agreeable details on the side of this assembly. And now we are doing the other side. But yeah, UTAT, would I buy it? Absolutely. Do I think some hardcore prequel fans would buy it? Absolutely. Do I think the general public, the general Lego Star Wars audience, do I think children would be interested in the UTAT? I don't really know. I just feel like it's such an obscure Star Wars vehicle that I have my doubts that they would actually do one. You know what? We need Lego to have a license for TMNT again. I'm all for it. Those TMNT sets are super fun. I collected most of them when they came out. They were very fun, very cool. I would love to see maybe the older TMNT, like the classic comics or the classic cartoons, get made into sets. They would probably do like the new movie though. But yeah. Should Lego release Grievous ship? Well, they released their Grievous ship. Are you talking about his Starfighter? Not the Invisible Hand. Grievous's Starfighter. Let me know if that's what the ship you're talking about, and then I'll answer. Yes, okay. They made his Starfighter in 2020. It was a really overpriced $80 set. I have it over there on my shelf. It's a good build. It's a very solid build. But yeah, I don't really think that there is much of a chance that we're going to get another one of those for a while because it took, let's see, it took 10 years. So we got one in 2010. And then our next version was from 2020. So it took 10 years for them to remake that. So I have my doubts that we're going to get another version. I could see a microfighter. I wouldn't be shocked if they made a microfighter of that, but I don't think we're going to get another minifigure scale version. I got finished making some new Funko Pop concepts. What concepts are you making? Also, speaking of concepts, here is the end of bag 14. This is the bridge section. I'm guessing this will probably go on like about there. And now we've got bag number 15, and we're almost at the hour mark on this live stream. It's going pretty well. I'm going to go until I finish this box, and then I'll be about halfway done with the Venator here today. Do you think the Clone Arc 1 figure is better redesigned in 2055? I think a lot of it is better. It's got less gaps. It's a little smoother. The function's better. It's not going to have the brittle red pieces, so it should be very stable, which is always a good thing. I don't think the design is like noticeably better than the old version, and it is a little bit smaller, which is never something I like to see. So I would say we're kind of in between there. It's not great, but it's serviceable enough. I'm not mad at it, but I'm also not blown away by it. It's a good set, but it's not a great set. I'm making some random ones for Christmas and one game character, which is the blue guy from Poppy Playtime. I have no idea what Poppy Playtime is, but that sounds hype. Good luck on your custom stuff. I know that's difficult to do. It is smaller. Yeah, it's not horribly smaller. If you watched David from Solid Brick Studios, he did a review the other day for the Arc 170. Compared to the other version, it's like a couple studs smaller. It's not as bad as some of the downsized sets they've done. And I think it does still look proportional, which is, important. Yes, the snout is definitely smaller. So yeah, it's not awful. It's not awful in terms of size. It's not great though either. I think it is kind of, it's okay. It's an okay scale. I'm not mad at it, like I said, but I'm not thrilled with it either. I was hoping it would, blow me away. And when it was revealed, I was like, all right, that looks good. It looks good. I'm sure I'll get it. I'm going to get it day one. I'm going to review it. And I'll probably give it a very favorable, albeit not glowing review. And it might pop up on my top 10 of the year, but I don't know if it's going to be high. That's kind of what I'm saying. It could be redesigned in Clone Wars. Like, if you could redesign a Clone Wars Lego, what would it be? It's a great question. I'm trying to think. I just got the V19 Torrent set the other day from 2008. If Lego really committed to it, they need to make it a big set with lots of Technic mechanisms and whatnot. I think that would be a good one to remake. I would love to see. Oh, okay, the dropship, the ATOT dropship set. We need a new version of that. I would pay $400 for that. Yes, do that. That's my answer. I was beating around the bush, and then it just popped in my head. We need that set. Apparently, Funko has confirmed that my boy Gengar got a figure. I did see that. Gengar got a figure. I follow Funko accounts on Instagram, and I saw that the other day that Gengar is getting a figure. I don't know why it took them so long. Gengar is a legend Pokemon, but I don't know. It looked really fun though. I don't have any of the Pokemon pops really. I think I have I have like a big Bulbasaur pop, but I haven't really been collecting them. Probably for the best than not collecting them, because if I did collect the Pokemon Funko Pops, I would be in so much debt. Because I would, want to catch them all. But yeah, Gengar is getting a figure. But yeah, back to the redesign thing. It's the ATOT dropship. That's a basic answer. Can you make an ATOP from 2 ATTEs? I'm sure you can. I feel like that would probably be enough pieces that it would, be very mockable. I always struggle to commit to mocks. I have a commitment issue with mocks because it's time consuming and it requires, to buy pieces and all that stuff. And I just always struggle to actually follow through on mocks. I'm really bad at that, but I would love to see someone more talented than me go it. I'm trying to figure out what Funko concept I should make. Just do whatever you want, man. I mean, I think when you say you make Funko concepts, what do you mean? Are you like drawing these? Or are you just like writing them down? I would love to hear kind of your process with these Funko concepts. It sounds very interesting. But yeah, definitely, I would love to know kind of what you are up to. You're drawing these. That's hype. What kind of drawing? Like digital drawing, hand drawing, anything like what is your spiel when it comes to these? And then looks like all right, good. I was afraid there's like a gap right there, and I was like, are we going to leave that? But no, we are covering it up with a plate piece. That looks pretty good though. Got some of the lights. Hand drawing. That's super cool. I used to hand draw a lot. I've got really good at hand drawing SpongeBob, but I kind of fell off after high school. I feel like once I got to college, I started using like my computer and stopped using like pencils, and I stopped hand drawing. I was a big doodler in class. Do I think the AT-AP is weirdly shaped? Absolutely. I've never been a big fan of the AT-AP. I don't hate that vehicle. I have one on display in my Lego room, but it's just kind of weird. It kind of just looks like the butt of an ATTE with a third leg. I don't know. It's in terms of Star Wars walkers, it's one of my least favorites. I think the concept of it is interesting with the the tripod leg and the big cannon. Yeah, it's all right, but no, it's not one of the best walkers. I think it is a strange set. or strange vehicle. And you're right, it is weirdly shaped. I think that is a very, very fair criticism of the AT-AP. All right, what are we building here? This has been pretty intricate so far, this bridge section. I feel like it's getting a lot more intense than I thought. But yeah, putting this together. A lot more like bricks. Like this is an 8x2 brick. Like I wasn't expecting to see like an honest to goodness, just like chonky Lego brick in this set. I'm going to be on stream, but I'm just going to be drawing. That's cool. That's cool, man. I think that kind of stuff is dope. I'm a creative dude. Obviously, I'd make YouTube videos. That's kind of my creative outlet. But do your thing. Like, keep up the good work. Share it with me. You can email me at legolee329@gmail.com. I would love to see some of your artwork, or DM me on Instagram at the Brickologist if you want to do that as well. I'd love to see your artwork as well. Let's see. Is there any hope for a Snoke Dreadnought ship? Yes. I actually think there is hope. It would not be minifigure scale. I can go ahead and guarantee you if Lego were to make the Dreadnought from The Last Jedi, it will be part of the Starship Collection. We are getting Kylo Ren's shuttle from the Starship Collection later this year, which I think is a poor choice, but that's not, there's nothing here nor there. But Lego doing Kylo's shuttle from the Starship Collection shows that the brand has willingness to commit assets to giving us sequel trilogy ships for the Starship Collection. It would look like Thanos' ship. It does kind of look like Thanos' ship. Well, okay, that's a different vehicle from the Dreadnought. You're thinking about like the big flying wing one. I think either of those could potentially be Starship Collection sets. And, ooh, I like using this piece, like the crate piece, as a detail. Like it's going to add some texture to the exterior. That's really clever. That's really good stuff, Lego. But yeah, I think that there is hope that that set comes out. I think there is hope that it, is neat. It looks good. I think you can, I think that you have reason to believe that could happen. It's not going to be a minifigure scale set. I can go ahead and guarantee you that. Do not get your hopes up whatsoever that Lego would make a minifigure scale rendition of those vehicles. But I do think it is possible that we might get those ships in some way, shape, or form as part of the Starship Collection. I think you could have hope for that. I don't know if I would bet on it, but it could happen. All right, we are now applying this onto here. I'm going to make sure I line all this up well. Come on. Don't want to break anything. There we go. There we go. Got to get that clutch power down in there. Look at that. Look at that. Big chunk of the build right there. Just kind of hollow. Would have been cool if they had included a little bit of interior, but whatever. It's not minifig scale. Do you think Lego will make a UCS Vader's Temple for 2026 10-year anniversary of Rogue One? Dude, that would be really cool. I highly doubt it. I can't really picture them. They don't seem to have much of an interest in doing too many of the UCS scale, location builds. But if they did, I would buy that day one for sure. And I think it would be really cool. So, yeah. I think that is not going to happen. I do think there is a chance maybe Lego gives us something for Rogue One's 10th anniversary. I'm not sure what. We're getting a U-Wing this summer, but it's from Andor. It's not from Rogue One. So we'll see how that goes. They did remake Vader Simple a while ago. Where are we? There it is. I'm so bad at this. There we go. Right there. I have Vader's castle on display. I don't know. It wouldn't technically be a remake because it would be kind of a remake, but it wouldn't be because that's from the Vader's castle is from the VR game. But yeah, again, that's something I wouldn't get your hopes up that they're going to, make Vader's castle. Would it be dope to get that in UCS scale? Sure, absolutely. Will it happen? Probably not. So yeah, I guess we'll see. I honestly, if they were going to make a UCS set from Rogue One, I would like to see the actual Rogue One ship, the big shuttle. They've never made that from the movie. It's a pretty cool vehicle. It would have to be a big set, probably like a $400 build. But I think if they made that and they included, new detailed versions of all the Rogue One characters, people would be excited about it. So, yeah, I think that could be a really, really fun set. Let's see. Should I go focus on Star Wars because the fan base is bigger than their first partnership in the 70s? I mean, I feel like Lego focuses on Star Wars a lot already. I don't really know if they need to focus more on Star Wars. I would just focus on trying to, maybe lower the prices. They're not going to do that. But yeah, I mean, I think Lego focuses on Star Wars plenty already. There's not really any reason as a Star Wars nut myself to be mad at how much Star Wars content they give us. Yeah, they need to improve Star. I think if I were in charge of Lego Star Wars, one, I think we get too many 18 plus kind of gimmick sets. I enjoy a few of them, but like apparently this year we're getting 3 helmets, 3 sets from the Starship collection. Like only do one of that kind of thing. That's like the first thing I would do. I'd rather have those assets relocated to make more play scale stuff. And then I would get creative with the play scale stuff. Like, give us a good mix of, hey, you've never gotten this location or this vehicle before, but we're also going to release the stuff that will be evergreen. It's like, we're going to release an X-Wing every 4 years. Like, that's fine. But also, let's get more creative, which is why I'm excited that, like, we're getting Ahsoka's Interceptor because we've never gotten that before. We're getting, a new version of Arc 170 because we haven't gotten that in 15 years. I think that is all, those are all good ideas. And I think that it will definitely help Lego Star Wars in the long run. And I don't know. I think that they're making really good stuff, but I think that there is also room to improve what they are making as well. And I am getting a bit sick and tired of some of the stuff they've been making too. 100% they should make more Rogue One sets. It's kind of sucks that they just didn't. And look, I understand why they aren't making like solo sets because those didn't sell well, or sequel sets, but Rogue One is beloved and Andor is a really popular show now. I feel like there should be Rogue One sets, more Rogue One sets. And there's stuff from Rogue One that could either use a remake or has never been made before, and I would really, really like to see it. So yes, 1000%. Give us more Rogue One sets. Prison Escape set, you're talking about the Andor Prison Escape? I'm not sure if that would really lend itself great to a Lego set, but it's a really good episode. There, look at that. Kind of sliding into place there. There's a pretty slick building technique. Well done with that Lego. Let's see, we are at 1 hour and 15 minutes. I think I'm committing to at least 2 hours on this stream. Preston Jackson, you have been here a lot of the time, and I appreciate all the questions. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join this live stream. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to my channel. I very much so appreciate it. We only got 1 like, so if anybody wants to drop more likes on the stream, that'd be cool. But that's not important right now. Where is it? There it is. Thought I was missing this for a second. I got another like. There we go. I don't know if that was you, Preston, but thank you for participating in the stream. I'm getting hungry now, but I'm going to keep going. I would like to, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 20. I got 7 bags left to build. We'll see how far I go. We'll see how far this goes. At some point, I'm going to have to take a break from doing this. But this is such a big set. I'm probably going to do multiple of these streams this week. So I do want to finish this set because I asked for the sale barge for Christmas from my parents, and I know for a fact that they're getting it for me because I bought it myself for them to give to me. Have I ever dropped a Lego? Unfortunately, yes, I have. Well, okay. I haven't. Okay, I have 3 stories for you. 2 of them are not like my fault necessarily speaking, but they did fall. One of them, yes, I did just drop it. The one I did drop was the Saturn V set, the NASA set of the big rocket. I literally went on a road trip with my brother to Huntsville, Alabama, to the museum. And there in Huntsville is where they have the Saturn V rocket, or one of them. There's multiple of them on display. It's 300 feet tall. It's gigantic. And I was like, I'm going to bring my Lego set of the Saturn V and take a picture of it in front of the real one. And of course, as I'm taking it out of the bag, I just drop it in the parking lot. It was so terrible, and I wasn't able to get my picture. I mean, just crazy. The other 2 examples, my UCS gunship, my cat, pushed off a table. Basically what happened, or you kind of pulled it off the table. Basically what happened with that is he was messing with my UCS gunship, which obviously I did not want him to do. So I covered it with a blanket, thinking if I cover it with a blanket, he wouldn't mess with it anymore. Well, it turns out he just grabbed the blanket and yanked the blanket with his claws, and that pulled the whole thing down and it exploded. And then I had to rebuild it. So that was unfortunate. But I did end up rebuilding it. And the final one is I had a shelf collapse earlier this year and destroyed half my Lego Lord of the Rings sets. Travesty, because I love those sets. And I haven't rebuilt those yet, but working on that for the time being. Ever regretted buying a Lego set? Obviously. I mean, I think, there's plenty of times that you buy a Lego set and it's terrible and you don't feel like you got your money's worth and you just, wish you hadn't purchased it. That happens all the time. I think a great example, the 2021 X-Wing that I mentioned before. That set, I feel like I bought that set because it came with a General Dodonna figure, and it was the first one they'd ever made. And I was like, Lego's probably never going to remake General Dodonna into a figure again. Well, little did I know that not only they would, re-release them a year later in the Yavin 4 base set. And it's just like, well, you bought that set just for this figure. You're not displaying the X-Wing at all. And then just a year later, or I guess it was 2 years later, 2023, the same exact figure ended up coming in a different set that was way better that I was going to buy anyways. And I was like, well, now I just have this X-Wing that I didn't really want to begin with. I wasted $50 on it just to get this crap Dodonna figure. So 100% I have regretted buying Lego sets before. That's just one example. I wouldn't say there are too many giant sets I regret buying because I feel like most of the time they're solid. I have wasted money on sets that are like on sale before. Like I remember last summer, I found the Lego Dreams like stable of magical creatures set at Costco, and it was like the set had just come out. So I was like, oh well, brand new Lego Dream set was an $80 set. It was on sale for 60 at Costco. And I kind of like mentally tricked myself into being like, that's a good deal. You should buy this set simply because of the price. So I did, and the set's fine. It's not a bad set or anything. Like the pieces are good, but like I don't have a Dreams display in my Lego room. So the set has just been thrown into a box. Like I'm probably never going to see that set again, unless I probably, or I will probably part it out or something. And it's also been on much, much bigger sales later. I have seen that set on like 60% off clearance on Amazon. It is always on sale. Nobody wants to spend $80 on that thing. And I wasted $60 on it, even though I still got it on like a 25% off clearance. Like I regret buying that set because why did I spend $60 on this set that I didn't even really care about that much just because I thought it was a good deal? I don't collect Dreams. I don't, I have a few Dream sets. I got a few because I, wanted to try out the theme. And that's kind of it. Like it was just very random. So yeah. Do you have the Evil Falcon? I do. I got that set fairly recently. It was a gift from a couple of buddies of mine for Life Day. We're big Star Wars fans. We celebrate Life Day instead of Christmas. So we do a Life Day gift exchange, and that is the set that they bought me this Life Day. Very fun, very interesting set. It's a pretty good design. It looks pretty cool. Do I buy Lego at their release? Obviously, yes. I buy a lot of stuff day one. If I am really excited about something, I usually buy it ASAP. I wait on certain stuff because it's a bad deal. Like the Avengers Assemble Age of Ultron set I got this week because I found it on Facebook Marketplace for $40, which is a crazy good price on that set. Like that set, I did not buy upon release, but other sets I do. And I do mostly Star Wars stuff. I always buy a lot of that like day one. All right. We are attaching this part here. It's going to clip in and then go down. That was pretty easy. There you go. Why not wait until the price goes down? It normally always does. That is a great question. I would say the answer I would give you is one, I am impatient. If I want a Lego set really badly, I don't want to wait. So a lot of times I just buy it as soon as possible because I just want to have the set right then and there. Number two, I make reviews of sets on YouTube. So there is incentive to buying a set early and reviewing it as soon as I can in an attempt to make my video more relevant, like the Captain America Brave New World sets I got on day one because I wanted to get those YouTube videos out as soon as possible. Obviously, those sets are way too expensive, but I couldn't wait, and I'm not going to wait for some of them. I end up usually making judgment calls on these things because there's sometimes sets get revealed where I'm like, that's a good set, but I don't feel like I need to spend that much money on this set. So I don't buy it day one. Now we are attaching this on here. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. These are some very nice angles. All these parts here kind of all angle in at different directions. And it looks pretty slick. That's very good. So yeah, that's why I buy sets on day one. I wait on sales for a lot of things, but there are some stuff that I just cannot wait on. The 501st Battle Park was $20 January, and now it's $15. Yeah, it is. And I did the same thing. Where I bought that set day one, and I bought multiples, and it went on sale. Oh, we got a new viewer, David Cohen. Welcome to the chat. Yo, saw images of the new Ahsoka Jedi Interceptor. I'm happy that I'm getting it when it comes on the same with Lego Third Arc One because those sets are awesome Legos listed. Yeah, those are great looking builds. Not great prices, but great looking builds, and you know, Lego clearly is targeting more and more the prequel fandom of Star Wars. They have realized that people love the prequels, they love the Clone Wars era, and they have given us a lot of sets, like the Venator, which I'm building right now. Obviously, I think if Lego, you know, has come to the conclusion that people like stuff like the Venator and that they're going to make a $650 Clone Wars UCS set just for Clone Wars fans. So, yeah, I think they are listening a little bit. I think they need to listen some more on prices and whatnot. But, you know, they're doing more than I thought. And I think that, you know, a few years ago, there were almost exclusively just like either the new sequel sets or sets based on the OT. And there maybe we like to get like one or two, but things that weren't from the prequels. But now they're giving us a lot more, and it's good. It's really refreshing to see. Lego is using environmentally friendly bricks because they said products would be expensive. I could make a whole video about the whole environmental friendly stuff. It's awesome on paper. Obviously, the environment's great. We need to preserve the environment. The fact is, Lego is plastic. Plastic is not good for the environment to begin with. So they need to do everything they can to try and make it better for the environment. I think Lego jumped the gun when it comes to the announcements and promises they made regarding their environmentally friendly initiative. Because they were like, we're going to switch all of our bags to paper. And they said that like 4 years ago. And they're like, we're going to make all these plant pieces, you know, sustainable. They said that years ago. And it hasn't happened. The only times I see paper bags are when they send sets to influencers. So, which kind of feels scummy to me, right? Like the influencers get these sets and like, oh, look, guys, Lego has paper bags now. It's like, yeah, they have paper bags for you because you're going to get the most views on your video. But as normal folk who just buy them at the Lego store, we ain't got any paper bags with, you know, a couple of exceptions. And I haven't seen any update on the sustainable bricks. I know they said they're going to start making like plant-based bricks, and like if they could do that and it's still this quality, like ABS plastic quality, do it, Lego. Just commit. Let's see it, man. I just think it's frustrating for Lego to say these things and then not do them. It was a process that's not environmentally friendly, or people throwing away the sets of plastic goods into nature. Both. So I would say probably less so that people are throwing Lego into nature. I feel like I'm sure that happens, but if someone does that, they're a freak. Like I don't know why you would throw away your Lego out into the wild. But the process of making plastic in big factories uses tons of energy. Plastic is made from oil that is not like environmentally friendly for companies to try and, you know, dig up from the earth. So yeah, I don't think that the process of making Lego bricks is great for the environment as well. I'm hopefully they are, you know, probably using sustainable energy like electricity and stuff to power more of their plants instead of doing, you know, big furnace factories or anything like that. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, it isn't the best thing for the environment. David Cohen, you said, oh, and the acclimator salt is everything I could want out of a small UCS set. Looks great. It's affordable and looks great now. The one immediate pickup for me, I just had to save up for them. Saving up is something we all got to do for Lego. Acclimator looks pretty good. I watched Solid Brick Studios review the other day. Looks pretty solid to me. I think it's a little small, but I'm not mad at the set only being $50. So, you know, you win some, you lose some. I think there are some compromises with the size, but it does look solid. Well, either you cut trees down for biodegradable bags or use plastic. Well, I think the thing is recyclable material. It's easy to do that with bags, and trees are also a much easier, more renewable resource. I think is kind of why paper is better for the environment. because it ain't hard to plant trees. Like we are constantly planting trees around the world. And there used to be like freak out. Like when I was a kid, always people thought that plastic was better for the environment because we were like destroying the rainforest. But I think we've realized that we're able to preserve trees and make all this paper and then plant more trees and have tree farms and all this stuff. It's a very, very renewable, very easy resource to use. Whereas plastic is, coming up from like oils in the earth, which at some point will probably run out. And obviously, it is recyclable, but I think a lot of people don't recycle plastic. It's harder to recycle plastic. I think that look, there's not a great solution to any of this. And I don't think that, Lego's plastic bags are going to ruin the environment. But I do think that the company should try and take steps to do what they can to make the environment better. And I think they jumped the gun on announcing the steps they were going to take because they announced it years ago and it still hasn't happened. So, yeah, kind of a weird issue. I've considered making a video about this, but I'm also not an environmental expert, so I'm not entirely qualified to do that. All right, the Acclimated has printed parts and images. Renders make it look small. Now, keep in mind that renders aren't the best. Yes, you are very right. And it does have printed pieces, unlike the set I'm building right now, which it's weird that like a $650 set has prints, but a $50 set, 13 times less expensive, don't have prints. Whatever, that's either here nor there. I do think the Acclimator looked a little bit better in the review than I thought, and I'm hoping it's solid when I get it in person. I'm still going to buy it. The initial pictures that we got, I was kind of like, it looks okay. But the more I've seen of it, I'm like, all right, maybe this is solid. And I think I'm just excited that it exists. The same reason like I was excited that the Venator exists. It's like, sweet, like give us, these ships from the prequels that people have wanted for a long, long time in Lego form, right? And I think that is just really exciting as someone who's been collecting for a long time. It's like we got one Acclimator from the Planet sets like years ago, and it was in like, basically a polybag scale. So it's better to get like a slightly bigger version now. And I think it looks pretty good. I'm pretty excited to buy it. Is it perfect? No, but it's pretty solid. And I'm satisfied. I would say I'm pretty satisfied with it so far. So, yeah. That's kind of how I feel about the Acclimator. And, it comes out what is it, December 7th. So 24 days, maybe earlier if I find it at Kohl's or something, but it will be in my possession fairly soon. So we shall see how that be. All right. Continuing to build this, I am looking for a dark red ingot piece. Where are you? We got 5 people in here now. I think that's the most we've had. I legitimately don't see this dark red ingot piece. Am I tripping? What's going on here? Did I use one where I shouldn't have? I'm gonna leave it because I don't think it's gonna be covered up by anything, and then maybe it will rear its ugly head later. And we got 7 people. That's the most we've had. Welcome, new viewers, to my Building the Venator live stream. We are on bag 17. Oh, there it is. There's a dark red ingot piece. Found it. All right. I'm about to attach these pieces. It's very interesting because they're clipping plates in between like clips. That used to be, kind of frowned upon. All right, what we got? Preston, we take a break soon. My plan is to finish this book and then take a break. I'm not even halfway through. I don't know. Also, my dog probably needs to go out. At some point, I will take a break. I don't know. We'll see. I'll make a judgment call, and I'll obviously end the stream when that happens. And then I'll probably do a stream tomorrow as well. I plan on doing, a couple of these just to, I want to finish this build within the next few days or so. We need a skibbity toilet, like I said. Who agrees? A brain rot Lego set. I don't know how I would react to that, man. I don't know. I would probably just die a little bit on the inside. Um, all right, Preston Jackson, thank you for your participation. I'm glad that you enjoyed the stream. I am very happy that you had a good time today, and I'll see you for the next one. Another thing is there are rumors like it's doing phase one clone pilot the new mold. I have heard that rumor as well. I'm not sure what the set will be. I literally just got the V19 Torrent set. It would be really, really funny if that's what they end up making because I just purchased the old one. I kind of hope it's not because I just purchased one for a lot of money. But whatever, we shall see on that. That's an interesting build right there, clipping those in. But yeah, I guess we'll see. I mean, ideally, I would love to see an actual new gunship, not a um, Republic Coruscant Guard gunship, a better gunship design. Oh, we got Emperor Freeze 2344 I something. Well, I'm not going to say the rest of that username. That's an interesting username there, buddy. But welcome back to the stream. And then we've got these two parts, which we will be attaching onto the Venator here. All right. Interesting that they chose the dark red. It does add a little bit of color to the top of this, but it makes it very specific to the Clone Wars variation of this vehicle. Also, if you're ever wondering why I'm like holding two, usually when it says like ×2 for a sub build, I do some cool stuff. I usually do the I usually do the two builds at the same time. What concepts did you make? Let me know. So was that your username before? Did you change your username? I don't remember it saying that last part. I think that's an interesting end to username, and I hope you don't have any malicious intent with the I hate a certain animal. Yeah, well, I'm just not going to comment anymore on that. But, tell me about your concepts. Let's talk about Funko Pop stuff or whatever I don't want to talk about concerning usernames. I think V19 would be cool to see. You can see it doing well. I think Lego Remake, it's been since 2009, the first one. It's been 2008. It's the last time the last one came out. The last one is awesome. It is a really good build that has some very impressive Technic mechanisms. Just redo that, essentially, but fill in the gaps a little better, and they're golden. Oh, gosh, I messed this up. They are golden. They would make a very, very good set. Yeah, I think that could be cool. Made 2 Christmas Pokemon and some for Adam Sandler's 8 Crazy Nights. Cool. That's pretty cool. I never watched 8 Crazy Nights. It's kind of like the iconic Hanukkah movie, right? I'm not Jewish, so I don't celebrate Hanukkah, but that's fun. But yeah, back to the V19 Torrent. I built the old one a couple days ago. It's a really impressive build for its time. I think I would like to see one done again. I feel like it's going to cost like $100 if it's that same scale. So that worries me a little bit. I guess we shall kind of wait and see what Lego does in regard to that. It's interesting. But yeah. I do think I'm probably going to call this stream at 2 hours, or we'll see how many bags I have left. I might go over 2 hours if I'm still going to finish the bag because I'm not going to stop halfway through a bag. But at that point, I will be pretty tired. A couple minutes ago, you said Whatnot. I have questions. Do you shop on Whatnot? I have used Whatnot. I don't think I was referencing the website when I said Whatnot. I think I was just saying the phrase like and Whatnot. I don't shop on Whatnot constantly. I've used it before, but it's not something I use all often. Let's see. Greg Dillon 117. Welcome. Hello. Thank you for joining us here today for my Venator live stream build. Glad to have you here. It's good to see you. Building the little bridge sections right now. I'm doing both of them at once to try and maximize my time usage. We've had a pretty good chat here today. The first 10 minutes or so, I was a little concerned, but you guys have been awesome. I'm so happy to interact with the community. It's super fun. Let's see. I am surprised that Best Buy has these in stock near me. You're talking about the Venator? That's pretty cool. Also, what did you say earlier, or what can I show you my concepts to you? Yeah, man, I would love to see your concepts. If you have an Instagram account, it's at Brickology Productions on Instagram. Just shoot me a DM with your concepts, and I will happily look at them and provide whatever constructive feedback I can. I think that would be really cool. You got Jaws? That's an awesome set, dude. That is one of my favorite sets of the year. I'm going to make a top 10 sets of the year video very soon, probably this week. And that will be very high on there. Spoiler alert. $44 isn't crazy for the new Jedi Interceptor. It has too many fewer arson remake new cockpit. I can't agree with you, David. I can't. I think $44 is wild. I think it's a wild price because I understand, like, yes, it does have a new cockpit piece, but so did the Pirate Snub Fighter, right? Wasn't that a new cockpit piece? And that set was $35 less than 2 years ago. It's just a set with that size, with that piece count, should not be $45. Yeah, I just don't think it should be. It's a terrible price. Terrible price. I have to respectfully disagree. Also do a post recent content on YouTube. So, oh, cool. But yeah, I mean, just send me your concepts or whatever. I also have an email. You can find all this stuff on my homepage, on my profile, YouTube channel. If you click on that, you will, I'm sure, be able to find all sorts of ways you can contact me. Where is this tile? Am I missing a tile? Why did Tigger go to the bathroom? Do I want to answer that? That seems like a trap. I feel like you're gonna prank me. You're gonna say something super inappropriate. Oh, this is why you don't throw the bags away instantly. Was missing the tile. It was hiding in the bag still. There we go. That's what you get when you do the live build, right? There are those two little things. Oh, forgot this piece. It's looking pretty slick, though, to make a poo. That's not bad. That's not bad. I really thought you were going to say something more inappropriate. Don't bet. YouTube is fun, but warn there's some toxicity. Oh, I know, Mr. David, Mr. Cohen, because I have been doing YouTube for over 15 years now. This is my first ever live stream, though. You know, I'm trying to avoid anything bad. If I see anything bad happen in the chat, I'm just going to try and ignore it because I don't want someone to, you know, get a soundbite of me saying something ridiculous, right? But yeah, there's definitely some toxicity. But you know what? I will give Greg a shout out. That joke, as stupid as it was, not horrible. Not a horrible joke. All right. The Ornithopter is my set of the year. You know, I don't love the Ornithopter. I think it's cool. But I think it is flawed. It looks weird to me, but the functions are great. Sorry, I don't use Instagram or any other platform besides YouTube. Well, that's okay. Just, you know, leave a comment on my video or whatever, and I will check out your channel because you have been so consistent there. And look at that. We got the Jar Jar eyes, as some people refer to it. This is all coming together really nicely. I mean, the shaping is great. The details are great. Very few exposed studs. That's great. Jaws second, Bumblebee third. I agree on Jaws. I think that is a worthy number 2. Bumblebee, I have the Bumblebee set, but I feel like I don't even like care about it that much. It's not bad. It's just it wasn't great. I feel like it could have been better. It's an all right set, all right build. The Transformers sets, I do think the fact that they are able to transform is really cool. Like, it is undeniable how cool it is that they were able to actually figure out how to make Lego Transformers that function like, well, Transformers. But the builds themselves are greatly compromised by it. They're very much what I would call function over form, right? We have form over function, which I feel like the Venator here is form over function. The set has like no playability features at all. There's no interior or anything. It's not minifig scale. Like, if a kid got this Venator, they'd probably be like, what the heck? Like, I can't do anything with this. But objectively, the aesthetic of the build is so impressive. I think the aesthetics of the Transformer sets, especially Bumblebee, I think Optimus Prime looked a little bit better, but Bumblebee, I just don't think he looks that good, especially in his VW bug mode. That, to me, I think looked really poor. I was not impressed with the way the bug version of Bumblebee looked. So yeah, definitely I would go say that it's kind of a form over function thing. But that's just my thoughts. I'm glad you like Bumblebee more. The Ornithopter, I also think, is going for function over form too, where they really, hone in on the function of the set. The play feature of that set is really cool. Like, it's a really great play function. But I also think that it is a little bit on the chaotic side looking. Yes, it is rumored we're getting Soundwave. I think that is a huge mistake. I don't know why we would be getting Soundwave before we get any of the Decepticons like Megatron or Starscream. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not feeling Soundwave. I mean, I think Soundwave would be fine if we had those other characters, but like, we need Megatron, we need Starscream, we need those characters first. Soundwave should not be the priority for the Lego Transformers theme. I think that is such an odd decision. So weird. I hope it looks good. I think Soundwave's design from Gen 1 lends itself well to Lego. I think it could be a good looking set. But I just think of all the characters Lego Transformers has to offer, that is not a great idea. That's my take. Maybe you disagree. Let me know if you disagree, Greg. But yeah, that is my take. I think Soundwave is a mistake. I think it's a mistake for the set. So I don't know. That's just kind of how I feel about it. Losing some viewers here. Kind of starting to wind down. I'm going till 2. I committed to go till 2. We're about to attach this big build to the main one. Let's see, we do those. Hope he comes with his tapes. It could be cool. I guess I'll have to wait and see how that looks. All right, chat. Gosh, this is so large. I'm gonna try and scoot these pieces out of the way. All right, here we go. We are sliding this onto the actual set. It's just like sitting there. That's very bizarre. I am from North Carolina. Did the Duke shirt give it away? I feel like that's the only way you probably could have deduced that. Wow, that's not really how I expected that to go. It's just kind of like sitting on top of this. It's very interesting. It's a very, very interesting design. Um, okay, and then why am I even doing this? My brother lives in Corpus Christi, Texas. I've been to Houston a couple times. I'm actually going to be in Houston next year for one of my best friends. He's getting married in Houston. So I have been out there before. Um, Texas is it's a big place. It's a big old state. A lot going on in Texas. They don't lie about the everything is bigger in Texas mantra. That is very, very true. There we go, chat. That's what we've got organized so far. I think, all right, I'm calling it. This is the last bag of the live stream. Unless it's just 18. One more bag for the live stream today, and then I'm going to log off, and I will probably do 2 more hours of this tomorrow morning. All right. One more bag for today. I'll probably finish up the rest later, but all right. Craven Five Guys. Well, if you're prepared to spend like $20 on a burger and fries, I'd say go for it. Five Guys is good. I usually go to Shake Shack over Five Guys just because there's a Shake Shack like 2 minutes from me. It's so easy to get to. Five Guys is like a little bit further of a drive. And I think their burgers are slightly better, but Five Guys is still solid. You do get like a crazy amount of fries every time you go to Five Guys. Like they give you enough fries to feed like a little village. It's like they might as well just hand you like 4 potatoes. But yeah, Five Guys is classic. I haven't been there in quite some time, but they do a good thing there. I do enjoy a good Five Guys. I've been craving pizza. I'm probably going to order a fat pizza later and go watch college football or something. That's kind of where I'm at today. But yeah, Five Guys, that's a good one. That's a good one to crave. Do you go to HEB at all in Texas? I remember when I visited my brother, we went to HEB a bunch. That place is wild. They had Lego there, which was crazy. Roll Tide. Like you're from Texas. You're rooting for Alabama. What's going on here? No. Or not for Alabama. Wait. What am I saying? Alabama's not playing. You're rooting for who are you rooting for? Are you an Alabama fan? Why aren't you rooting for Texas? That's what I'm trying to say. I feel like, but yeah, I don't know. I don't necessarily think that Alabama deserves to make it into the playoff. I think if SMU loses to Clemson tonight, I would bet money that SMU gets that last playoff spot and it kicks out Alabama. But if SMU beats the Tigers, then I think Alabama will make it because they are the highest ranked. South Carolina honestly is playing better, but because Alabama does have that head-to-head over the Gamecocks, and they said head-to-head matters. But yes. I go to Buc-ee's Whataburger. Yeah, I have been to both of those. North Carolina is actually getting both of those soon. We're building a Buc-ee's, apparently the biggest Buc-ee's in the world, which I think every time they build new Buc-ee's, it's the biggest Buc-ee's yet. It's coming to North Carolina. I'm pretty excited about it because Buc-ee's legitimately has like good food. And I love the beaver nuggets. Those things are like crack. I very much enjoy eating the beaver nuggets. I very much enjoy their brisket sandwiches. That is quite an establishment. The first time I went to a Buc-ee's, I didn't even know like what to think. Never been to Bojangles. I don't know if they had those in Texas. That is a North Carolina staple right there. That's like our version of Whataburger, like the classic North Carolina restaurant, Bojangles. Bojangles can be hit or miss. When it's on, it is maybe the best biscuit in fast food. But I've also had Bojangles where the employees like couldn't care less what they're doing, and it is dry as a bone. So it's one of those risk it kind of fast food restaurants. But if you get Bojangles on a good day, you will enjoy it. But also, if you get a Bojangles for the first time and it's not great, that's kind of just part of the Bojangles experience. If I'm being honest with you, it's like one of those restaurants where you never know the quality of the food, but it always has a very similar flavor. If you ever do go to a Bojangles, get a Cajun filet biscuit. That's the number one thing you should buy. And then get a Bowberry biscuit, which are basically blueberry muffins and biscuits combined. They have this crazy like sauce on them that is so good. Jollibee, I had Jollibee at Brick Fair for the first time. Brick Fair, Virginia, this past summer. They built a Jollibee near the convention center, and I tried it for the first time. What I'll say about Jollibee, the fries are not great. The chicken tenders are really bad. The fried chicken, some of the best I've had in fast food. The chicken sandwich, very solid. The biscuits and gravy, okay, serviceable. The spaghetti, which is like the weird thing that they're known for, not bad. It kind of tasted like a Slim Jim to me, which is a weird flavor to have in like noodles. But it wasn't awful. I kind of thought I was going to hate it, and I didn't hate it. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever had. So, yeah, Jollibee, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's pretty good. There are none in North Carolina, at least to my knowledge, at least not close to me. But I did enjoy my Jollibee experience overall. I probably wouldn't go there a bunch if I had one near me, but I could see myself craving that chicken like twice a year. You know what I mean? But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, if there's one in Virginia now, I feel like they're probably going to expand somewhere in North Carolina soon. Let's see. In-N-Out for the first time in October. Dang, first time in In-N-Out. I've always lived in North Carolina, so I've never had In-N-Out close to me. Every time, though, I've gone out west, I have always made a consolidated effort to get In-N-Out, and I enjoy it. It, I think, might be the best burger in fast food. I also think In-N-Out Burger's fries are horrible. They are so bad. They are stale. They are flavorless. It is not a good fry. And yes, you can get them animal style, which makes them edible. That's the praise I'm giving In-N-Out fries. Is the animal style makes In-N-Out's fries edible, but I don't think it makes them good. It is still a really just objectively poor fast food fry. But yeah, anyway, that's my take on In-N-Out. Great burger. The milkshakes are fine. I like the simplicity of the menu. I like how quick it is. I like the kind of brand recognition they have at their place. But I do think that the fries are horrible. Chick-fil-A is the best chicken nuggets. I would disagree. I love McNuggets from McDonald's. Objectively, Chick-fil-A's chicken is definitely like better quality. Let's be real. But McNuggets are just nostalgia for me, man. I had Chick-fil-A for dinner last night, though. I live 2 minutes from a Chick-fil-A. I go there probably twice a month. It is very easy for me to get to, and I love Chick-fil-A. Got the spicy chicken sandwich deluxe. It was high quality. I love this. The stream is kind of winding down here. I love fast food. I love food. I don't talk about food on my channel because this is obviously a Lego account, but I think it is very fun to talk about fast food. And I love Chick-fil-A. I don't really order the nuggets very often. I do get chicken minis though. I love chicken minis from Chick-fil-A. And anytime I get those are obviously just the nuggets inside a little roll. Those things are delicious. So yeah, Chick-fil-A, great place, great establishment. Has lots of great food. Not my favorite in the world, but it is very solid. And we are almost done with bag number 18 here. I'm going to clip on. Favorite set of all time might be Barad-dûr or Rivendell or Helm's Deep. One of those Lord of the Rings sets that's huge. I got one of those. All right. It is now 2 p.m. I've been streaming for 2 hours. I'm going to bookmark this. I built, I believe, 10 bags today. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you, Greg Dillon, for sticking with me at the end. I will be doing a couple more of these streams to finish this bad boy. This thing is huge already. I'll see you all next time. Peace out. God bless. Bye-bye.